and welcome back to another interview of From Another Zero. We have a Kym in the house today. Welcome to the Zero. Kym, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you today?
Good. Very happy to have you. These interviews are special to us, so we're always very happy when you guys come along and discuss your art with us.
Oh, well, I'm very grateful to be here. Thank you.
Of course. So, for people that are not familiar, we're in San Diego. How did you start in this theater world, in the directorial side? Like, how did that all come about?
Sure. So, I started theater in junior high. That was my very first show. Kind of fell in love with it. And then in, God, 100 years ago, I started a theater company here in San Diego called Ion Theater, and worked with them for a bit, and then started producing with Intermission Productions. I've worked all over San Diego as a actor, director, stage manager, producer. You know, we kind of wear all the hats.
Mhm.
And my directorial debut was in 2008 with Fat Pig at On Stage Playhouse.
Oh, nice. Do you have a favorite, like acting, being on stage, behind the stage?
Oh, I love it all. Acting is my first love. That was what brought me into the theater world. But there's something really special about being a director because I really love actors. I love working with actors. I love watching their process and their discovery, and just getting to be a part of that is a great privilege. Yeah.
Awesome. And now that I see you, I'm like, oh my God, that's true. That every time that I've seen you out and about in a show or something, the hair. Oh my God, this hair. Any tips for us, like, non-beautiful hair?
Oh, your hair is beautiful. My number one tip is don't wash it. Like, it's got to be dirty to hold the curl.
Right?
Buy shampoo. Like, there you go. That's the
See, don't wash it. Don't wash the hair. Yeah, I've gotten into that trend, and yeah, it works. It does work. So today we're here also because there's a play coming up, opening up at Scripps Ranch Theatre, and it's a Tiny Beautiful Things. With this play, and you can help me out with that. It started with Nia Vardalos, right? That's or
well, it started with Cheryl Strayed, and then Nia Vardalos, I'm assuming, fell in love with the source material and decided to turn it into a play, along with Marshall Heyman and Thomas Kail.
Mm-hmm. And then yeah, it had its East Coast light on there. San Diego did it, I want to say, some 5, 6 years ago,
Yeah,
before
about 5 or
pandemic.
6 years ago at the Old Globe.
Before
Mm-hmm.
pandemic, I'd like to
James
say.
Vasquez directed it, and then it was also done up at Pasadena Playhouse as well. I was lucky enough to see both of those productions.
Oh, well, it's a multi-layered piece, I would say. It has some things that are, you some doses that are they're like surprising, let's say. Um, can you walk us through a little bit without spoiling it so people go to Scripps
Oh,
and see the
sure.
show?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Tiny Beautiful Things is based on the book Tiny Beautiful Things, which that material was taken directly from Dear Sugar, was an advice column on The Rumpus, which is a literary arts magazine. And so basically what you're seeing is all true. They're all real stories written by real people. People wrote letters in, and Sugar responded, and that's what we're seeing on stage. So, it's based in reality, and um, the human element, I think, is what really pulls us all into the story.
Directorial wise, is it on your perspective, your view, when you're kind of, figuring out the pieces and the framing and everything in order to put it together? Does it change when it's based on reality or it's real versus something that's fiction?
I don't think so. I mean, at least for me as a director, you always want to honor the story that's being told, right? So there's a different weight when you're telling real people's stories, when you're using words that someone wrote. In this instance, people had a question that they needed answered so badly that they just reached out to the universe. They didn't even know who they were talking to. So for these people at that moment, it was the most important thing to them. And I think that there is a certain way to that.
Absolutely. And also, I think these things with the letters and the columns and just having someone, it's necessarily not through a social media platform or on a screen. It has this, I don't know, cuddly, warm feeling. Even yesterday, I was listening to the radio people, Radio AM. Yes. And it was a show and people were calling in because of what we're going through right now that shall remain nameless, but people were calling in to express their feelings, and the DJ was just listening and chiming in as when you go and have coffee or a drink or a snack with a friend or a loved one. So I think that's also a cool aspect of that brings us a little bit out of this social media, I feel.
Yeah, sure. I mean, for me, ultimately, that's what this play, that is the most beautiful thing about this play. I think especially now we're at a time where we really need to hear each other. We need to practice our listening skills, and we need to be reminded that we have far more in common than we even know. Watching this play or reading these letters, like you realize, like, oh, I'm not the only one. And I think that's one of the things that makes this piece in particular so special.
I believe that there's a series happening on Hulu.
Yeah.
People like to do research, their warm up, if you will, maybe before I'm one of those.
It stars Catherine Hahn, and she's phenomenal. If you've read the letters or the book, if you know the play, there's definitely Easter eggs in the show, but it's not going to ruin your experience of the show. It's not a direct retelling, but there's hints at the letters everywhere. And you get a real intimate look at her life and kind of what brought her to the work.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I'm one of the people, some people are like black or white in this aspect. I'm like all the color scheme because I'm like, show me everything. Sometimes if I can bring myself to read the book or listen to the audio book, I'll do that and do my, all my little chapters of each of the types of the works. And it helps. It's because, it's like, I don't know. It's just like having different chocolates, kind of, sort of, for me, like tasting the different flavors and seeing the different views of the people that are behind the project. So that's really cool. So when can people enjoy this? Come and see it. How long is it playing?
So we open on November 16th and through December 8th.
That's a nice chunky time that you can go over there and check it out. We're going to put all the information down here on the screen and the website where you can purchase your tickets and support.
They run Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and from what I've been told, seats are already filling up. So I'd recommend buying in advance if you can.
Yeah, it's been pretty full over there. I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see the community and other people from other parts, because then San Diego gets pretty like in their areas, right? I'm on the east. I'm not going to go. I'm on the north. I'm not, and it's fun. It's fun to drive wherever you have to drive and then go see a show. It's really cool. And they have nice snacks, and then they have a seating area outside. So it's nice to go over there. And Kym, we ask our guests, this space is called From Another Zero, because here you just don't start from zero. You start from another zero. So we always ask our guests what their other zero or zeros are.
Pertaining to this show specifically, I discovered this source material a long time ago, before we even knew what sugar was. Mm-hmm. And I can say, my own personal life has taken me in many different directions, and this source material has been kind of my saving grace through it all. I turn to this book over and over again and have gifted it to numerous people when they've been at hard points in their lives. So, I mean, if that counts.
Yeah, of course. Like this work.
Yeah, I mean, this specifically, the Dear Sugar column and these words of this person have really saved my life time and time again.
Oh, so it's really nice because it's all like it's taking you and then you're directing the show.
Yeah, it feels like a real gift because the source material has been very, very important to me. And so having the opportunity to assist in helping the story come to life is it's kind of a full circle moment for me.
Oh, wow, that's awesome because just between you and me, um, it's been hard for me to bring myself to read the book. You
Mm.
know, I have a feeling, you know, because I've been very uh, you know, little ducks and doggies and kitties and flowers and things like that with everything happening. So I have seen it, I have it there, you know, and I'm like, not yet, not yet, you know. So
For what it's worth, there is a lot of humor and a lot of just people being people. You know, it's not all sadness. There's a lot of joy included as well. So I recommend it to everybody.
also, yeah, I'm happy we had this conversation. It's a sign that can be like my little to go and read the book. Well, perfect. Then let's because I'm lazy with reading, but because I'm slow, but I love reading.
Everybody it takes differently. You do it the way you need to do
And
it.
I'm like, what? And I go back. So it's like, oh, sometimes I don't have the patience, but I do love to read. So let's go back. And we're starting Tiny Beautiful Things at Scripps Ranch on November 15th. And then you guys end on December.
December 8th.
So November 15th preview. November 16th is the opening officially, and then running through December 8th.
Yes.
Perfect, perfect. Go support, you know, we're approaching the end of the year, so get some good theater in there. Anything that you would like to add?
I just look forward to seeing you there. Can't wait to see how everybody feels about it.
Great, great, great. Yeah. And always, you know, share. Tell your friends, tell your family. And it's always a good gift now that we're entering this gift era. So it's always a good gift, and it's never too late, never too early. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the time, the space, sharing a little bit of your art with us.
Thank
And
you.
the Zero is your home, so you can come back anytime
I appreciate
and
you.
share what you're doing, what's up with you. And to everybody watching, remember that here we just don't start from zero. We start from another zero. Bye.
Thank you.